tuning in. Here it comes again.
Hey. On today's podcast, I have Andrew Patterson.
Oh shit. Who's that?
It's you.
Oh fuck.
So we're going to start this and maybe keep this as a tour recap from his recent tour with And Hell Followed With. Okay. Let's start. So you started this tour on October 18th in Detroit, then ended it on October 28th in Chicago. This was your first tour and first time playing shows at all with this band, correct?
Right. No prior shows with them or anything. Kind of just, as we talked about in the last one, it's like in April they hit me up, wrote the EP by the end of May, and here I was just yelling at people for 11 nights straight.
Yeah.
We had like, the band collectively had like 3 days of rehearsal. I was only there for the last day of rehearsal. As long as I was practicing at home and I knew my cues, like, good. It was mostly a matter of them having the foundation straight. But yeah, prior to that, and then just like us getting together in July, working out kinks in person.
Yeah.
Because we did that for like 3 or 4 days as well. As just a, hey, here's what needs to be done. Everyone came with their shit ready to go that second time, a couple days before the tour. Then, yeah.
That's pretty badass. Seems like it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, as long as people are on top of their shit, man, there was no reason for that not to work out.
Yeah. Just trust your bandmates. If you could describe this tour for you personally by using just 3 words, what would they be?
Very fucking freeing.
Okay.
And I'll explain that too.
Sure.
Essentially, I don't know, like being just so stuck to like that, 9 to 5 grind the last couple of years. It's like the longest vacation I've had is like over a weekend, right?
Yeah.
So it's maybe 4 days. It's not really enough to feel like you've escaped your regular day to day.
Sure.
But on this, it's just like, of course, it's amazing getting to play music every night, meeting longtime fans, friends on the internet, blah, blah, blah. There was just something about maybe like 2 or 3 days left of the tour. Like I'd finally felt like I was unchained from like my regular life.
Okay.
Because you gotta think, you break up the monotony of like a schedule so much. I'm not going to sleep till 7. I'm waking up at 9. But there's no confines to like my schedule. There's just like, I'm not having to be here at one point. I'm not having to do this. I don't have any responsibility other than keeping myself alive and breathing and like getting on stage for an hour every night.
Yeah.
And something about that, and it's finally getting out of my regular routine to where it felt like this was natural. Something about it was just like very freeing for me. And I feel like I honestly do have this kind of like new lease on like my day-to-day life back at home, doing work and stuff, because I don't feel like I just hate it because I've had it broken up now. And now it's almost like it feels fresh again. So it's like in some way like this tour was actually like really cool outside of a music perspective entirely. But I will say that was sick too.
Yeah. So it was like a vacation of kind of.
Yeah, and I feel like it was like the first vacation that I've had that truly felt like I was escaping my regular reality and just trying to get away from the regular shit. And I don't know, something about that was just, it was a good feeling, especially when you're around good company and there's zero stress on your end the entire time.
Yeah, so vacation usually feels good already, but you're on vacation and getting a lot of attention and, having fun with, other people. It's kind of amplified as far as your, enjoyment goes, I guess.
Absolutely. Because I can really enjoy it without having to worry about other shit.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is in the moment. It's all that matters.
It does sound very freeing, and I totally get that. I didn't even think about it that way.
I didn't either until going into it. Now it was just like, man, like I wish I had like 2 more weeks of that. Like I could have easily, like by the end of that tour, I was just like, man, it feels like there should be another week.
Yeah.
Or another 2 weeks, or just, it doesn't feel like it was quite done yet. Especially, like I said, I had just gotten in that groove like 2 or 3 days prior. So it's just like, for me, it's just like, all right, I'm finally riding this fucking wave, and the wave's just like already dying out on me.
Yeah.
But it was still a blast, man.
There will be more waves.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, which city truly had the most welcoming and responsive crowd, in your opinion?
Welcoming and responsive. It was either going to be the Fayetteville, North Carolina date or the Brandon, Florida date. The Fayetteville one was fucking jacked too, and like I was actually impressed with how that show ended up. And I'll go ahead and just say, like, for example, I don't know if it was the venue owner or someone that worked at the venue. There was a PA and speakers on site, but for some reason they're like, yeah, we don't trust y'all to use it, or we don't have anyone that's authorized to use it for whoever. And it sounded like bullshit, but whatever. Like this was a show where very last second the venue got moved, and I guess they just happened to pick this one, right?
Uh-huh.
And if it wasn't thanks to the promoter, he goes by Turtle. Shout out to Turtle. He went out of his way to make sure this show still went on by like driving out to the nearest Guitar Center, renting the whole speaker set, a PA, mics, fucking everything.
Jesus.
Like, I don't know if he lost on this show or not, but
I feel like somebody had to have.
yeah, someone had to have. But he went out of his way, and the show didn't start till 9. And despite the fact that everyone cut their sets, like it was still like probably like the most like explosive date on that tour, because like the venue was super fucking small. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. The stage was not like maybe the size of this room, like maybe. And for those listening, this is
11 by
room.
12 or something,
roughly. And yeah, just despite the air being dead because people thought there was gonna be a no show for the show and we have to cancel. No, it was crazy. Like the little room that we had was fucking packed, and the energy in there was just insane. And I felt like that was the best one.
That's cool
for sure. And I would also say the Brandon, Florida date, because it was really interesting playing in like the main room of a church.
Yeah, seeing the pictures, that really kind of threw me.
Yeah, out of any of the photos we posted, people are just like, "What the fuck's up with the church?" And I'm just like, "Look, we brought the gospel of deathcore to Brandon, Florida, and that's all I really got to say." Like, apparently this place has shows all the time. Like, not even a couple days prior to our show, Brand of Sacrifice was in there, and it's just like, well, shit. I mean, that's even nastier than us. Like, yeah. This place is. Anyways, yeah, like it was cool. Like, it was a Friday night in like basically Tampa, Florida, and people wanted the party.
Yeah, but sounds like it.
It was a good time, man. Both of those shows were definitely my highlights.
What city didn't seem to have the most responsive and welcoming crowd?
Oh, okay, easy. Amityville, fucking New York. I'm just gonna go ahead and say New York was not impressive this run. I have a couple theories about why it didn't go the way it should have, but I'm trying to think of like specifics here because the show was jacked. Anyways, so okay, we were on tour with Weeping Wound, Victims, and Widowmaker, right? And Victims played before us, and Amityville and just New York in general was mostly New York in general. I've heard a lot about like the hardcore scene. Like apparently this is where they get fucking rowdy. This is where people get fucked up.
They take it serious.
Crowd killer, right? Like, it's like, and I'll say like before we even get into the details, yeah, there was a dick measuring contest of who was the hardest at this show, right? Maybe like 70, 80 kids. It wasn't nearly one of like the bigger turnouts, but you know, decent amount. And Victims goes on, and it's this pissed off, fucking angry, dissonant music, and it's just fucking shout out to John. He looks like the nicest person ever, but he sounds so fucking pissed. Like he sounds like he's like, I don't know, like I don't know how to put it. He's just pissed. I'll show you after this. But yeah, that band went on, and it got to the point where like someone got thrown into a stool a couple times. Someone got thrown over a fucking table. Before their set even ended, this chick got fucking elbowed and started seizing and some shit. And she got pulled over to the side, and like her eyes rolling to the back of her head, and she was barely conscious. And here's where one of my theories pop up, because whenever we played, maybe 10 people outside of the bands were there. Not even most of the bands were there at that time because they were probably packing up, and the energy was dead, and it was just a really weird night from that point on, because we were so amped up to the idea that this show's gonna be popping off. All these people are pissed, and then just either we just weren't heavy enough for New York, or that one chick getting her shit fucking pushed in just set the mood for like the rest of the night, and people just jacked up
the vibes in the air.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know. I mean, there certainly was
Excuse me, I'm thirsty.
No, you're fine. There certainly was a contrast in this package tour wise. Like, in Hell Followed With doesn't sound like any of those other bands. I feel like they're more like groovy, you know, upbeat stuff, whereas we kind of are like I don't know, more, I mean, at this rate, more like melodic death than we are like,
Right.
like hardcore deathcore or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the other ones. I've regrettably I regret to say that I did not check them out, but I probably should at least give it a listen.
It's some kind of shit that I would like jam at the gym, up tempo,
Yeah,
like
I got you.
makes you real pissed off, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like I was a part of it. Is just like the interesting contrast between our band and their bands. It had its benefits because we were introduced to new crowds, but also, you know, maybe like there was way more, you know, crowd movement and like action for them than there was us, just because I don't know if it's because the instrumentation's a lot different. You know, we have solos and stuff. There's just other different things, and we're not just ass beater music the entire time like some of their stuff is. That show in general was all weird. It's just weird. And also, shout out to the dude in the local band who got pissed at me because I didn't say his band's name. I said, yo, and here's for what it's worth. I really liked the New York locals at that show. One of them are my friends in Necropia. They're fucking sick. Shout out to Tamim and John. But, dude, this one dude in this band, I'm not even going to name them. And I doubt he's going to hear this. If he does, you. I was like, yeah, shout out to the really sick 4 local bands that opened this up. I was like, I even said it's like some of the better local bands on this too, where I was legitimately like interested in them. And this dude like starts mouthing off. It's like, why don't you say the local band's names, bitch? And all this shit. And I'm like, dude, there was 4 of y'all tonight. Like, sorry. Like, I'm not going to remember all the names. But
yeah, I mean, to be real, I'd rather not
single them out.
Accidentally leave one out or say one wrong.
Yep.
I'd rather just address them, you know, appropriately.
Precisely.
Like it doesn't mean I'm disrespecting them by not naming them.
Exactly.
The thought is still there. The intention is still there.
And it's funnier too, because later on that night, I ended up like 2 of their members came up to the merch table and said, yo, we had an awesome blast playing with y'all. Y'all were great. And you know what? I was actually interested in them. I thought they were actually kind of sick. I even asked the dudes, so yeah, what about your, so we got music out or whatever? And he's like, yeah, here it is, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, Jesus.
Holy mo.
Whenever we were leaving out in the van, then that's when someone pointed out, yo, that dude fucking talking shit was in that band. I was just like, well, not jamming them anytime soon. Like, it's just like the entitlement. Like the thing is, he would like keep saying shit, like, because obviously I was trying to get the energy up as a front man. It was my job. It's like, yo, let's get the room moving. What are y'all fucking doing? Are y'all asleep? Blah blah blah. You know, just I gave up after a while because clearly it wasn't working. But the dude is like, why are you repeating yourself, dumbass? It's just like, this is my fucking job. I'm the headliner band, and I'm trying to get the energy a little hype it up. It's
I
like,
mean, why even say anything?
Right.
What do you get out of that?
Especially when you're like,
Does it make you feel good? I mean, and if it does make you feel good, are you proud of that?
it's like, congratulations, you were 50 feet ahead of me in this room.
I mean, come on, dude.
And like, obviously he dipped out right after that because I didn't see him the rest of the night. I was honestly kind of wanting to be like, yo, so what's up, dude? Like, I don't want to start shit, but like, like obviously as someone that cares about their PR and stuff, like you want to talk to these people and kind of understand. But at the same time, it's just like, fuck that, dude. Let's be a waste of breath.
Yeah, if you want to speak up like that and make a scene for attention.
So then he shouted his band, bro. We felt entitled.
I'm not going to say jealousy, but I mean, there could be some borderline jealousy involved or subconscious jealousy.
I feel like it's weird entitlement. Just like, I don't know, like he got to open this show. Maybe he sold some tickets. I don't really know.
He sees you flying up there, you know, up high, and everybody's looking at you, and you're doing well, and he wants to bring you down. He wants to point out a flaw.
I don't even feel like that about any of it myself, because like for me, it's just like I genuinely wanted to check out these bands, like especially since like most of these shows, there was at least one band where I'm like, I've heard of you before. I want to see your set. Like it wasn't one of those things where it's just like some random bunk ass no name local was playing. It was like all these bands happen to have their own presence, and it's just like I was interested. Everything I heard was great. Like it was cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, as a musician, I want to connect with other musicians. So it's like having that kind of engagement over something so weird and minute. It's like I don't know if I did something else the rest of the night. Like I don't know if like maybe he tried talking to me and I just totally missed it. Like who knows? Like, but anyways, TLDR, turn it up next time, New York. That was weak.
He called y'all weak. Okay. Where am I? Where are we?
In your house.
That's right. I was trying to see if I wrote this down right. Excluding the actual crowd while playing, which city had the most genuine and friendly people before and after the show?
Chicago, actually. It was,
nice.
It was the last day too, which again, it was just such a bittersweet
Doesn't
day.
Chicago usually get kind of a bad reputation?
A little bit. I know like a lot of the like the band thefts and stuff happen.
That's what
like,
it is, the
like,
theft.
I hear that more about St. Louis than I do Chicago. But obviously Chicago has, you know, they're known for their higher crime rate and stuff, which honestly wasn't that bad. Like, I guess we were in a decent enough part of town, we're playing at Reggie's. I don't really know what kind of place that is, but no, it's just, I feel like the most people that like wanted to come up and say something or like asked to get something signed or just like had something just super nice to say. And it wasn't like the general like, hey man, you're awesome. It was like something genuinely unique about each conversation. And it's just like, that stuck out to me. And I just felt it was like very welcoming, oddly enough, you know, despite, you know, what we just said about just like the environment there in Chicago. But it just felt like there was just good vibes no matter who I talked to, which was great.
That's cool.
Because obviously there's at least one or two weird fucking people at every show, but like Chicago, there wasn't one time where I'm like, yeah, this is uncomfortable. This isn't weird.
That's good. Sometimes weird's okay, but
yeah, but there's like
sometimes weird is fucking weird.
It depends on the brand of weird.
Sure. Peanut butter on the chest, weird. Or, hey, I know everything about you, weird. Won't leave you alone, weird.
See, that it comes to that point.
That's almost creepy more than it is weird.
See, there were some people that actually like had been following my shit for a minute on this tour, and they're like, yo, I didn't even know you were in this band. It blows my mind. I've been following you since like 2014, since you're
crazy.
Like, no, dead ass. This dude was like, yo, I've been following you since your first Die Art cover on YouTube, which was the one you helped me film like forever ago. And I was just like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I didn't even know you were in this band. I was coming to see In Hell Followed With, and then I saw you pop up on stage, and it blew my fucking mind. And I'm like, what?
That's kind of crazy that they didn't know, but that's cool that it's, you know, that was a
I don't know. I'm starting
surprise.
I learned from this tour, like, surprisingly enough, it's like maybe I should pay more attention to my YouTube, because some of these people are like, I've been following you on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like, well, that explains a lot. Because
yeah, I guess we just assume everyone is
on Facebook.
Yeah,
yeah,
in Facebook land, because almost everyone that I know, I mean, excluding maybe some older people that I'm not, I wouldn't expect to have a Facebook, but some my age or younger, I think I only know one person that doesn't have a Facebook.
Yep, it's like
off the top of my head. Yeah, so that's just kind of where we are these days, I guess.
Yeah, so shit like that threw me off, like, for sure. I mean, in a good way, of course. Like, it's not like it was a bad thing, but it's just my assumption 99% of the time is, you know, if anyone talks to me, it's about In Hell Followed With. So it's kind of wholesome to have it, you know. It felt rewarding.
Yeah.
So after all these years, like, finally actually, because there's one thing about, like, internet validation, which I feel like that's just a plague on people. It just ruins people, right? But there's a difference between, like, that and just, like, physical, like, validation, where it's like, wow, I am on the right fucking path, and, like, these people are, like, making me, like, truly, like, physically see and feel it, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Did everything go smoothly with the other bands in the tour package?
I want to say yeah. If that's not the case,
not looking for any, you know, name calling or anything like that. Just I mean, in general, I
felt like the bands really meshed really well. I feel like some of them kind of had like prior friendships where we were kind of like the outlier coming into it. Maybe I read that wrong. I'm not really sure. But I know, of course, like, you know, me and Daniel, for example, never have toured before. You know, aren't as, you know, out there with that, so to speak. I mean, overall, yeah, I feel like it went good. I mean, if there was any problems, I would hope someone would speak up. But no, there wasn't any weird animosity or any weirdness that I could pick up on. We actually like made really great friends with the band Widowmaker. Those dudes are fucking sick. Like, half of them are from Alabama, half of them are from like Nashville, Tennessee area. And they had Spencer Letzinger from Kill Fill in, one of the sweetest fucking dudes I've ever met. But no, that whole band was awesome. I mean, really everyone on the tour was awesome, but like, it was really cool, like, how well like our band meshed with them, just like humor wise, and I know we borrowed gear from them as well.
Okay.
But no, like, everyone was sick. There wasn't really a problem.
That's very good.
Yeah, the only real problem ever was like promoters and sound guys.
That was my next topic.
Oh, of course it was.
The actual wording is, dare I ask about promoters and venue owners?
Well, there was one night where literally everyone wanted to beat the fuck out of the sound guy. And yeah, there was Steven from fucking Widowmaker is the realest motherfucker, because like he asked him what the fuck was up, because like he kept fucking up everything. He was being a douche the whole night. Shut up, dogs.
Sorry about that.
No, but I won't go into like specifics on who and where, but there was definitely a night where like everyone was like, yeah, this dude's a fucking cunt and needs to get his shit pushed in. And there was definitely some like weirdness with promoters. Like we definitely like had been attempted to be shorted by one before. It took like a whole week to get like 3/4 of the fucking money we were owed, kind of thing. And then there was like really shitty promoters. Well, one who was just like, oh, this show is, quote, not doing well. Let's remove your guarantee and make it a door deal. And it's just like, we budgeted this tour based on our guarantees. Like, what are you fucking doing? And I don't really know.
Is that part of a contract of some sort?
Yeah, see,
they can just switch it up whenever they feel.
I never saw the contract. At this point, I don't really care, because we came up pretty decent for that one based on like the merch balancing things out.
Yeah.
Still, it's like stuff like that was kind of shiesty.
Yeah.
And then shit, I mean, if you want to go further on the shiestiness, there were shiesty fans. Like there was this one dude. There's
like $20 for a shirt? What?
Oh no, like more like, yo, I'm gonna cop that 5-finger discount on this fucking pair of shorts kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, this dude, right? He was at a merch table, and I didn't see this happen. In fact, he came up to the merch table and bought like 2 pairs of shorts and a shirt. I think he dropped like $70-$80 on everything. So I don't really know what all he got, but he did that, took a picture with me, and then he left. And then like Spencer from filling in for Widowmaker, he came by and he's like, yo, dude, that guy tried stealing some of your shorts. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then he tells me that they also tried stealing something from their table too. He said he balled up the shorts and the shirt together and like balled it up in a shirt he actually bought. But I guess like Spencer is like a correctional officer at like some prison, so he like knows how to read people really well.
Sure.
And he's like, I see what you're fucking doing. What is that? And he saw it. It's like, I know you didn't buy either of those things. Go drop them off. And he did. And it's weird because then like later in the night, the same motherfucker like gave us an eighth of weed. And it's like, yo, dude, I'm such a huge fucking fan. This is so sick. Here, let me help you out. And
it's probably laced with something.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you it wasn't, because I'm still alive. But it was just like, hold on a second. So you mean to tell me that you tried stealing something, then dropped almost $100 worth of fucking money on us?
Guilty, man.
And then gave us bud. Took photos of all of us.
Felt bad.
It's like some sociopathic shit.
He was trying to make it right since he got caught.
I mean, if that makes him feel better, more power to him. I mean, all in all, maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe he didn't try stealing anything. I mean, he had to have, right? He had the physical shit in his hands.
Right. No, he tried.
He tried. But yeah, I don't want to give him too much of the benefit of the doubt, but he did correct himself at the end of the night, at the very least.
That's, okay.
This also definitely happened in New York.
Shout out to New York.
I've been told that we played the wrong places in New York. Apparently we should have played like Brooklyn.
You can't really expect to know the area, obviously, if you're not.
Exactly.
You don't hang around that neck of the woods.
Yeah, I feel like that was a lot of the, I don't want to say a lot of the problem with this tour, because it's still, I'm still very happy with the results, but a lot of people asked us like, yo, why'd you book here? Like, why this town? You should have went over to here. Like, a lot of people said we should have played in Jacksonville, Florida, instead of closer to Tampa.
Is that going to be purely on the booking person
there's
that you
a
had?
Good chance. I mean, it's really hard to say. But no, I mean, it was interesting to know that we probably could have hit better markets, but at the same time, like I said, there were still people that drove out like 4 or 5 hours to some of these shows.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's sick. And speaking of, this is kind of off tangent, but on at the same time, shout out to John fucking Gallagher of Dying Fetus, dude.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
He drove out 3 hours to the show in Reading, Pennsylvania. I think it was Reading. It was at Reverb. I think, yeah. And he hung out. We smoked weed with fucking Dying Fetus, dude. That was so sick. But no. Speaking of people who traveled, yeah, I have to throw that out there, because
that's really cool.
The sickest thing to me.
Yeah.
He's also a total sweetheart. Go listen to Dying Fetus.
Go listen to him. I think I've seen them, I don't know, 3-4 times now.
I haven't seen them at all.
It's usually just on either a big tour or a festival or something that I'm, trying to shoot.
Yeah. And
they just happen to be on the bill. Like, oh, okay. They sound pretty large for a 3-piece, right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So I think they're still a 3-piece, but
I know how picky you are about your voice. How do you think your voice held up throughout the whole run?
So you know what? The problem wasn't even with my endurance or like just the physical, aspect of my voice. Oddly enough, I think it was just the back and forth weather changes I endured. Like, honestly, like, I'm a congestion factory. Like, and like there was 2 dates. I think Richmond was one of them, and it might have been Reading, Pennsylvania, and Richmond. My voice, like, I don't want to say it gave out, but there was just so much buildup and just so much mucus that my entire low register just was not pushing how it was supposed to. And I thought it was vocal fatigue, and I actually did like a whole like maybe like 13, 14 hours of vocal rest, like not counting sleeping, and it didn't really help. But I think it was just the congestion, because outside of that, like I felt like 100% every night, and I was concerned about that actually, because I think hour-long sets every night for someone that's maybe only done 30 to 45 in a, like one show in a row shows.
Yeah.
And it's like I practice, but even then I don't practice that much. So it's just like I was like the entire time just stressing out, like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen?
It's gonna kind of like the fifth song or something. It's just gonna start kind of fading away.
I was convinced by like the third or fourth show I would feel some vocal fatigue, which I didn't, because like my high and mid register was fine the entire tour, but just whenever, I don't know, just two of those shows, and then some during the Nashville show, like it's like it wasn't even that I couldn't do it. It's just like I couldn't do it in full. It's like there was something blocking the passage for me to really like hit them the way I want to. Like,
yeah.
And it was just like the entire time you can ask anyone there, I was just so stressed out about it. I was like, that sounded like shit. That sounded like shit. That sounded like shit. And there's video, and it doesn't really sound as bad as I thought it did in my head. But at the same time, it's just like, naturally you want to bring your 100.
Right. Yeah.
Especially on your first tour ever, where like, for me, it's like, I mean, you obviously know, it's like I've played some local shows, but I've never, like, it's always been videos online, and there's been people that question those for years. So now it's like, this is like me up to bat and having my first chance to really like show the world, like, yo, I do this legit. So it's just like, whenever there was a couple,
it's not fake.
Yeah. Whenever there's days like that, that's all I can think of in my head, is just like, I'm really letting myself down. I'm letting my band down, but no one really gave a fuck. It was one of those things where I just stopped overthinking it. I compensated with like a little more mid-range, and it was all gravy.
Yeah.
All gravy. We're good.
It's all gravy. Gravy's everywhere. Gross. How does it feel being back at home and back to the routine?
I thought it was going to be weird, but I've reassimilated pretty quick. It's just like, the only thing that sucks that I'm still trying to catch up on is sleep. But otherwise, no, it's just like, routine is so routine that's just like, you kind of just see it pop back up, and it's like, oh, there it is. Let's do it. Maybe work was a little weird. I thought I had to relearn anything, but there was some processes in my work where I was just like, oh yeah, I do this, right? Okay, cool. And overall, it wasn't a problem, but it was like, there was like enough of a threshold to break where it was like, okay, this is the weirdness. This is me being back to it. If anything, it was just like the idea, like, oh, I have to be there at this time. Oh shit, okay, I'm not used to that. I haven't done that in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. I
mean, granted, we had like load-ins at 4, but like we didn't always make it just because some of the routing was just kind of fucked in that regard. It's like, it's obviously hard to want to drive 7 hours after you finish an hour-long gig, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time you're done packing up and meeting the fans and playing. So it's just, to go from that to where you didn't really have certainty in your schedule to like having to like be back up, at that time for work, that was a little weird. But once I got like halfway through my first work day back, it was just like, okay, this is just life. Like, it's fine.
Just kind of fall back into place.
Yeah, but I do imagine if I had done like a month-long tour, like I was just saying I would love to do, I feel like then maybe the reassimilation would be a little harder, because like I said, there was
take more time, I'm sure.
Because you gotta think, like I said, like I had just gotten into the groove like a week and a half into it. So had I done it for a little bit longer, maybe it would have been harder to reassimilate and really like find the groove again. Because I only had a couple days where I was like, yep, this is life. This is what I'm doing. But yeah.
That makes sense. It's like me doing night work. I've done that before. I think I did it for 3 months straight, and that, honestly, my sleeping has never been the same since then.
I believe it.
It's not bad. I've been able to manage it pretty well in time, but it took me a long time to readjust. And I used to be a very, very light sleeper, and now I'm more of a light sleeper now than in recent years. But I used to be very light sleeper, and then the night work, it's just I would sleep through anything almost for a little while, and it was super weird. I hated it because I would sleep through alarms and phone calls, and it was just so out of the norm. Yeah. I wasn't used to it. So anyway, what?
I mean, yeah, sleep is one of those things that I've had shit sleep for like years, but like this has just made it a little bit more difficult. But it's also strange because I feel like I was almost growing accustomed to like how little sleep I was getting. Maybe that isn't healthy. It probably isn't healthy at all.
Probably not.
But like just going back to this like scheduling and stuff, like I just every day I feel like I could use like 90 hours more sleep in one evening, which is clearly impossible. But it's just weird how like my body will adjust to the one, but like I still can't adjust back to it this way.
Yeah. What is how were the energy drinks? Did you end up surviving on those, or did you?
Well, I went out of my way like a month before the tour even started to order like a I think it's a 12-pack of the Champagne Bang. So I had that a lot of the tour, and then since I wasn't eating as much, I feel like, well, fuck it. They have those keto coffee bangs. They got like the 20 grams of protein, like 200 calories.
So it's almost a meal.
So I started having those every day. So the thing is, like, I feel like my caffeine tolerance is just so stupid that like it really does make a difference, but it's more of like a, what's it called?
Death?
A placebo. Yes. I mean, yeah.
Early death?
Yeah. Energy drinks are bad. You probably shouldn't have them as I drink my white Zero Ultra Monster.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was one of those things where it's just, I think the placebo told me I needed them more than I actually needed them.
Of course. Yeah. Or habit.
See the deal? I had zero coffee the entire tour, like a fucking idiot. Like I should have just like had a nice warm cup of coffee. That would have woken me up every day. Burned my lips once a day.
You should have brought like a little tour Keurig or something. You go find an outlet somewhere and plug it in and make some coffee.
Be cost efficient. Get those little like $99 Keurig minis.
Yeah, it really could. Honestly, that would control you from energy drinks.
Listen, the van had like an inverter and everything. We could have plugged that bitch in and just made coffee on the go.
Yeah, I mean it's more space, whatever. More shit to break, get stolen, get in the way, step on, but still, you might save money after a while. Instead of getting coffee or energy drinks.
Honestly, having the Keurig in the van would also be sick because it probably the aroma of coffee would probably outweigh the stench of balls and asshole.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got so many of those little like hanging tree scent things after a while because just
like hang them over your head.
Dude, we all shower basically like every day or every other day, but like it was maybe like one or two of us that showered every other day, just depending on the circumstance. But like we were privileged enough to shower, and it still smelled like straight sack constantly.
Just all the clothes and shit, I bet, right?
That's probably what it was. I gotta say, man, like when I got home and did laundry, the bag that I had of dirty clothes was horrid.
Ugh, gross.
I've obviously washed them since then, but holy fuck, it was disgusting.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That was like the one downside because I like to be clean, so like having that follow me around for like the 2 weeks was just like I wanted to gag every time I opened up my clothes bag.
Oh, that's sick. Man, I actually get kind of scratchy skin if I don't shower frequently. I'm more talking about like on my head, like dandruffy or something, but not like all over my body. That's kind of gross. I mean, sometimes people have that. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings.
Man, I mean, yeah, some people aren't as fortunate to be able to shower every day or almost every day like we did. Because I know, I've heard of some bands who like they just literally won't shower for 5 days straight.
They just fuck that,
bro. That would drive me insane. Like I couldn't imagine.
I don't like stinky people.
Like sweating a little bit just makes me feel gross.
I'm really sorry, and if you stink and it hurts your feelings, then maybe you should stop stinking. Have you ever thought about that?
Pro, take a fucking shower.
I know you can't really speak for Daniel, but did he seem to enjoy the experience?
Dude, yeah, Daniel had the time of his life. Like, it got to a point where, like, we were in Chicago, because the last day, we played in Chicago on the 28th, and the 29th, our flight wasn't until, like, 10 o'clock at night. So me, Daniel Gomez, and then Joshua West, he did all the content for our tour. We met up with my buddy Cody Ken out there in Chicago. And after we left like the downtown area, we went on the way to the airport. We saw like this little bar. That's like Shoeless Joe's or some shit. I don't know. There's a really badass waitress and she hooked it up. But anyways, we got fucking wasted, dog. Wasted, dog. And where was I going with this?
Somewhere.
Fuck. He started like lamenting about how sad he was, and he was legit crying because he missed like the dudes in Widowmaker and like the dudes in Hell Followed With.
He wasn't crying. Don't put Daniel out like that.
No, he'll admit it too. Like
I'm sure he will.
I admire the man for being so open with his emotions, and also it probably was the alcohol speaking.
Yeah, if you're afraid to show your emotions, you're a piece of shit.
No, but for real, shout out to him for like learning the 11 songs and like the 4 like pretty like decent solos that he had to learn in like a month and a half. Tops.
Yeah, those are some good solos.
Yeah, I mean, I know you tried taking your own bat at them, and I mean, they're pretty fucking.
Yeah, they would
They're
take
enough.
some time.
Take some time, right? And yeah, he
And
got
some finger resistance.
no, but he got all that shit down in a month and a half's time, cleaned up all the shit that he needed to, like the 3 days he had before the tour. And yeah, just he was all smiles. Like the dude would just go out of his way to be like, this is amazing. This is the best time of my life. I'm so happy. And it was just like, it was like a kid on Christmas who got that N64 and all the games he wanted, and then got candy, and then like the Tooth Fairy came too. Like it was remarkable to watch, just because like I just know he's needed something like this to happen for him, just especially with his luck in music and just like how things have gone for him in the past. Like he just needed the win, and he fucking got it. So
That's great.
it was awesome, man. It was really sick to watch. I was glad to have him on there, and I think I've mentioned this before, but he's already helping us write the full length, and the stuff he's adding is just, it's sick. So it's just all around. Shout out Daniel Gomez
Super
for being
sick.
a fucking champion.
Super sick, Daniel.
Hella
SSD.
sick. Oh my god, super SSD.
Do you have any suggestions for other people who have not experienced a tour before? Like any new, someone that was, in your same shoes right before you went out?
I do feel like I'm in like a bit of a privileged spot, just because my first tour was a headlining tour. It was nice and short.
Right. Not like a 4 or 5 day local band.
Yeah, it's like I got
tour.
showers and shit. Like there's a lot of things that maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but I just felt like I was a bit privileged to have the scenario that I did.
Well, maybe more of the mental side then.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say that I went into it thinking, like I'm a fucking homebody. Like like as extroverted as I am, it's like I love being home. I love being home so bad, but I went out and did this, and it's just like, it's fucking worth it. Like you just can't overthink it. Like I think a lot of people, just worry about too much and worry about their baggage, and everyone's got their baggage. Maybe I had less of it myself this go round, but you just gotta fucking let go and do it, and just don't worry about your bills. Don't worry about what's back at home. Just face what's in front of you. Get lost in the sauce and just have a good fucking time doing what you love. It's really all I got in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's for one time, for the first time,
Yeah.
To take that chance. You might have some worries when you get back.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you're at least experiencing something.
Because even then, in my position too, it's just like my work. They let me use my PTO the whole time, so I wasn't coming like home entirely empty-handed. Even if I did come home empty-handed, because I would still have the experience on top of, money from work.
Right.
But not
right.
everyone else is privileged like that. I know there was people on the tour who were in the negative a couple of days in.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah, that's very sad.
if anything, if you're gonna do it, make sure the opportunity is rewarding enough. Make sure it's gonna.
It's not going to completely screw you over.
It can't screw you over. Like you can't ruin your life because you went on tour. Like you need to be able to be comfortable enough to where like, yes, I can get away for this amount of time. Whether it's just because you have savings, or because you just don't need the money that bad to survive, or because like me and you have PTO and you have the ability, like the privileged ability to be able to go out and not have to worry about, I need X amount for bills by the time I get back.
Yeah.
But
or you can eat ramen for 3 months afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. If you can take the risk and like just fucking soar and just go for it, like do it, but just be smart about it. And I feel like a lot of people will do anything to throw away like their lives for opportunity. Like you see people all the time like signing to random labels because I got signed, or you see people going on these like smaller tours that aren't really gonna have pull because they've yet to like really build their fan base. And it's just like, touring is sick. If you get the chance to do it, fucking do it, but make sure it's worth it. Make sure this is an investment that isn't going to fuck you long term.
Right. Just for some thrills or the experience,
Yeah,
you can't just throw everything off to the side like,
No.
it's not a big deal. We're living, man. We're having a good time.
It has to have some reward, and it can't financially crush you, because that's going to be the biggest issue. I feel is just the financial weight at the end of it for a lot of people. Because let's be honest, that's what stops everyone from their dreams, is money.
Of course.
So just be cognizant of doing that, or of not doing that.
Yeah, and I guess you maybe want to have some sort of cushion or emergency fund of some sort, a backup plan in case somebody gets pulled over and thrown in jail for overnight for, I don't know, intoxication or weed or something.
That leads me to another story, actually, real quick. I forget what date it was. But we had the pleasure of, being to stay at their house or whatever. I want to say it was in like Pennsylvania or something. I'm really not sure. Shout out to you though. I'm terrible with names. I'm an asshole. But
message him and tell him who you are.
Yeah. But so that night, we parked on the side of this building, and then here was the houses, and it was me and Patrick that stayed behind in the van, because honestly, like, that van's cushions were pretty fucking comfortable. Get on your side, grab a pillow, you're good to go. Like, I didn't need a bed. I could have stayed in that van every night, besides the night we stayed in Florida, because I woke up feeling like I was in a grease pan.
Yeah.
But anyways, we woke up, or rather I woke up to cops walking around the van in the trailer. And eventually one saw me. I saw one, and then they saw me, and I was the idiot who lifted up and then went back down. So they probably thought I was trying to hide from them or some shit. But at any rate, they knocked on the window and they asked, so who are y'all? What are you doing? And after we explain we're just a touring band who's staying with the guy in this house right here, lo and behold, we find out, oh, that building you parked in front of is a daycare. And they are very concerned. And it's just like, oh no. Fuck. Well, anyways, so, they do the whole license registration thing. They try to get our IDs and stuff. They run me and Patrick. We have no records or anything they have to worry about. It's always good there. So they're like, yeah, the main concern is they saw the black van in front of the daycare, and they were concerned. And
just a black van with dudes hiding in it.
Yeah, and they just basically want a confirmation, and we even like showed them the tour laminate. We offered them a CD for shits and giggles.
No, thank you.
Yeah, of course not. They're actually really nice cops, so shout out to them from wherever the fuck they were from. But at the end of it, just none of that mattered, because they're like, well, regardless, this area doesn't allow trailers in residential area, and I'm like, okay, fuck. So we had to leave regardless, but all in all, like, good cops. It was certainly interesting.
Well, that's good, I guess.
It taught me there was nice cops, because every cop I've met down here is an asshole.
I guess a quarter of the ones I've encountered, as far as like being pulled over or having to talk to a cop for whatever reason, a quarter of them assholes. I guess majority have been very not friendly. Not that I try to joke with a bunch of cops or try to make conversation. It's like you're not talking to a person.
It shouldn't be the standard, though. I feel like just general kindness will go a lot further. And then if you have reason to be firmer, then, by all means. Because that's just it. I was convinced that, like, these cops were out to, like, try to, like, go through our shit in the trailer and the van.
Right, yeah.
Which would have caused a serious delay in our day. But no, they were super chill about it. Like, it was very new to me, which is unfortunate, but
yeah,
nonetheless,
that's good. Well, according to this digital piece of paper, I have no more questions for you.
Well, that's okay.
Goodbye.
No. See you later.
That was pretty cool. Do you have anything else you'd like to add or say or ask or talk about?
I wouldn't say not really. I mean, other than the fact that, probably going to try to do more tours next year.
That was a question I was going to ask about.
Okay.
I guess I couldn't really figure out the wording for it, so I just felt maybe it would naturally come out, which it just did. But what are you guys doing for pursuing more tours? Is it like aggressively pursuing or just kind of welcoming any opportunities?
It's one of those things where we haven't gotten any official offers yet, but there's been some talks of ideas and things, and they're all very promising. So it's a matter of that. We're currently in the middle of moving booking agencies, which should make a night and day difference for us. That will start fielding more opportunities. Because the thing is, at this point, this headlining tour was mostly a point of, hey, this band as a brand is back, but also this is us. This is us now. Like, I think going forward, we're not trying to posture as just In Hell Followed With. We're trying to posture as In Hell Followed With 2.0, or however you want to look at it. Because the thing is, we're kind of rebranding. Instead of going for the more traditional deathcore vibes like the old stuff did, we want to be more melodic death metal, more just, I don't want to say necessarily matured, but just,
evolved.
Evolved, yes, very much so. We don't want to like do the same thing like some people have asked. We want to see what, where us as individuals go collectively.
Yeah.
Which is way more important.
Yeah, because it's new new minds are involved. So,
But point in case, we're working on a full length, which, as it's shaping up so far, is going to be a lot more aggressive, a lot more really pushing that melodic death envelope. But on top of that, we're going to try to take some more support roles, take more of a back seat. Because like I was trying to say, like the tour is more to prove that this is a thing again, see where we can pull, and just really just try to hustle things and show that we're not just people online doing shit like everyone else is. Right. We're truly trying to pursue this. But and in turn, just the next couple support roles we should get, we want to, just tour the rest of the states. Probably try to have that full length out by 2021. Try to go across the pond to Europe in 2021. And just focus on furthering the brand, furthering the content, and just making sure that everyone knows loud and clear that, we're here to really fucking do some work.
Kick some shit.
Kick some ass, brother. We're gonna go to your town and fuck your sisters.
Whoa.
No, we're coming to party.
He's not gonna do that.
No, we're coming to party. We're coming to have a good time. There's a lot of people I want to meet on the East Coast, or the West Coast rather. I've already got to meet a ton of sick people on the East Coast, so I want to come down to Texas and show my Dallas homies that what the hell all this about. I want to go to the West Coast. I've never been to California. I want to go up north to more like Oregon, Washington State. There's a lot for us to explore as a band. There's a lot for me to explore as a person, and I think next year is going to be even more fulfilling than this year was.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
That sounds like a good note to end on.
Well,
whatever note that was. Maybe a G flat.
See, I was thinking around a G actually. Great minds think
G
alike.
sharp.
A G. Wait, G flat would just be an F sharp, right?
What?
Fuck.
All right.
Signing out from Rusty's Escape Pod. This has been Andrew Patterson and Rusty Holloway. Yeehaw.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Rusty's Escape Pod. Rusty's Escape Pod.